Alright, audio is live.
Yeah. I don't know about that. Yeah.
The road was clear. We just looked at it. Right now, if you go out there, that's the first sign. That's
Head out on the road.
It started about 1 o'clock in the morning.
This morning. The elevation
Looking at it, it was raining.
boardwalk is 4 foot.
The water was still below the bottom of the gate here.
Survey.
Yeah, it's passing us right now.
So that's a 4 foot driveway.
Alrighty.
Where the time is
4 o'clock, let's get the show on the road. It is 1600 on June 17th, 2026, here in the city of Nassau, Texas. This is the Maritime Safety Committee meeting, 1800 Space Park Drive, Suite 200 in City Council Chambers, Nassau Bay, Texas, 77058. Meeting is called to order. Roll call. Noah's here, Jeff's here, Irv's here, Brian's here, Paul Lopez is here, city manager. Cromie's here. This is here, and Chief George is here. All right, so no more missing Jason. All right. Citizens' comments. Any citizens here? We will continue on to the committee member comments. Herb, we'll start with you this time.
Okay.
Committee member comments.
I have nothing positive to
All right. Anything neutral?
add. You caught that, didn't you? Actually, I have nothing to add.
All right.
Thank you.
Jeff?
Well, thanks to Public Works, it looks like the plant growth has been taken care of for them. Make that small. Thank you for that. That's all.
Jim?
The marina is now flooded officially, the Nassau Bay got flooded.
Okay. So is water's up over the bulkhead there?
Yeah, happened within 20 minutes.
Wow.
Yep.
4 foot.
My comment, okay, again, I'll go back to the no wake zone around the Nassau Bay Ron Park. That's the accurate way to happen. It has happened. So a lot of times people know about the accident, but they don't come here to talk about it. So, maybe we can get up no wake signs on the land.
All right. Anything else, Jim?
No, sir.
Okay. All righty. Paul?
Me and the mayor's talked about in the last few weeks. He's really impressed and seeing everything that everybody's doing. The Marine Patrol, he's seen a big change in that last 2 or 3 weeks. He's real impressed with what everyone's doing. He's seen a big change in it, so I just want to pass that along.
I do have one more. So, the other day, somebody told me, I'm not here right now, but they did see the net that Parks and Wildlife come in and they use the boat ramp to get off and they walk around the water. You saw
I
that?
noticed that.
And then they went back to the boat left the ramp, and from what I understand, did you see it?
I get it.
And then,
Looked like they were like investigating 2 writer tickets.
and then the boat patrol came back up and they picked up the boat went up, right?
You talked about the ramp on Upper Bay?
No. Talking about the
Okay.
That's okay.
Okay.
Good.
Chief Crummy?
Just passed out some koozies, those are being passed out by the patrol on the weekends. One side, since, the 23rd of, May, we've had 9 days that, scheduled, and only, we've missed 3 of those days because of weather already. The very first day, we didn't go out because of the weather. But anyhow, and then we had one weekend of, July 6th and 7th, we didn't go out because of the weather. But in that time, we've had, 2 assists, 35 safety checks, 12 noise complaints that have been addressed. Those are not complaints called in by anybody. Those are complaints that, noise violations that the officers have addressed while they're out there. 3 weight violations, which I think is pretty good. There's only 3 of those that they've addressed. So we've got a total of 52 contacts.
Did any of these generate citation or?
No, they were all, no, they were warnings, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the violations. Now, the safety checks, there were no, violations during the safety checks.
The weight violations, just curious where, do we know, like, kind of where along everything
No,
they were?
they just while they were out on patrol, they don't really have any place to mark, exactly where they were, so that's about it. So far, enforcement wise, we've got, 22 and a half hours into the season, so that's not counting. Fire department has 4 hours, we prep the boat and take care of the boat, before we get off and stuff like that, so they probably got at least double that number of hours, I would imagine, Tom, if
I
not
didn't
more.
bring my numbers with me, but I think it's over 100 already.
Yeah. So, I don't want to steal anything from Chief George, but I know they used one of those weekends with the weather, they went out and did training on the boat, just operating the boat in bad weather. So,
Which is kind of good.
that's all I got.
All right, Liz?
No problem.
Chief George?
I have nothing really to add, we covered most of the marine stuff. The water's over bulkhead there now, which means we got, and Harris County gauge backs it up, we got a 4-foot surge, so it'll start going down the tree.
The, office is back in place?
The marine station project is complete.
Excellent. All right, perfect. I have no comments myself. So we'll move on. Subcommittee reports, aids to navigation, review of all aids to navigation and needed maintenance. We have any noted bad ATONs?
I have comment to these two gentlemen. There's a couple, low profile poles that are just north of the peninsula. They're not in Bal Harbor. They're in between the peninsula and Bal Harbor and Swanton.
In the big open area? Okay, those are actually marked on nautical, those are the ones I think that are marked on nautical charts.
But they're low profile.
Yeah, they're not visible very well through the naked eye.
Yeah, I know you brought that up to me, and I found some maps that identifies all that, so I'm sending them to the GLO, trying to get some guidance on who they belong to, if they belong to us, or them, and I don't.
Could be pipeline?
No, and me and Tom discussed it too, it's just,
They've been there
they've been there forever.
As long as I've been here, they've been out there. And the problem with them, and I went, looked at them, I've seen them. The problem is that the water's high enough, those things don't stick out of the water. If you catch one of those, you're done. So, and they've been there, and if anybody a lot of us that know the waters know they're there, but there's a lot of newbies out there that don't. So I put a higher safety risk on those than I would on the creek.
Any way we can maybe mark them with some, put some PVC on top and just kind of bind some PVC to them in the meantime? Just to kind of elevate
How
the
many
extent?
think there are probably 20, maybe 20, 25? There's a lot.
I mean, we have some pictures that we took, and I need to dig them out, of when the water was out one year, and you could see them all very clear. I'll dig those up. I'll get those to you.
Okay. Maybe. I know
Somebody did
this.
a panoramic of the whole area out there when the water was down and gave it to us. I know where it is, but I just forgot to grab it. I'd say there's more than 20.
Yeah. Me and Liz could work together on it. I know they sell the PVC poles with the reflectors, maybe that.
Yeah,
would work.
just something that, even if it just adds, 4 to 6 feet of overall height.
So, I'll add something to it, so I talked to the harbor master at Battle Harbor about it. we brought it up at our last meeting, and he said he'd use the jet ski to go out there. It looked pretty local, so I don't know if I can get my boat out there. But man said he'd go out there and help work it.
Yeah, you'll need a jet ski or something to show.
I'll go with something like that.
Our Pinto probably couldn't get back, unless it's already good right now, but you can't see them right now.
Yeah, I noticed, I was down the park, Clear Creek Park, and, there's now about 3 companies that rent jet skis. And a bunch of kids, you know, and a few of them were girls, and they were just moving and grooving. They're all over the place right now. They got the little boat car now that
I
they,
saw that.
yeah, I talked to the guy just to talk to him. He said he's booked up every 4 hours. He said it's like clockwork.
Those people have no training either.
Nah, some of these girls look like they're 16, 13, you know. So, yeah, I'll work with Elise, we'll try to get that marked. So,
All right, any other, Aton issues? All right, move on to old business. Consideration possible action to approve meeting minutes of February 2026, March 2026, and May 2026. We had kind of held off on the February and March approvals last month, just because a couple people didn't really get a chance to read over them. So I emailed those back out as well as the May minutes. So if there's any corrections or anyone wants to motion to approve or any of that, please do.
I'll just mention something else that I mentioned Chief told me too, is that there's a lot of crab traps still out there. They should have looked the rule 2 months ago, but there's a lot of them out there. Not only our water, but Lake City water. And I asked Chief Trump if he wanted, he said, don't give me. But there's
Yeah,
a
Park
lot of wildlife.
Wildlife, Geologic take care of those.
Yeah.
So I need a motion or something.
Yeah, I can motion that we approve the minutes, meeting minutes for February and March 2026.
What about that?
And then, excuse me.
Okay. All right. All in favor? Carries 4-0. All right. New business. Consideration and possible action. Discussion and possible action to make recommendations addressing individuals bypassing the slow no-wake zone at the lagoon entrance channel. Ordinance 22-27C2A. City water known as Cow Bayou extending to the Lake Nassau Spillway, Nassau Main entrance channel to Lagoon, and Nassau Bay Lagoon is designated a slow no-wake zone. So that's the current ordinance as that relevant section stands. We've been getting a lot of reports that people are inside the marked channel, adhering to the no-wake, slow no-wake zone. But then you have people who will operate 25, 50, or even 100 feet just outside of the channel at full speed until they get ready to make their turn towards the cove. And at that point, then, then they slow down as they're coming in, and as they leave, then they're just full throttle once they make the turn away from the cove, and then head easterly out. So, the spirit and the intent of the ordinance, of course, is to reduce possible incident, and to have a no-wake zone through that whole area that people use to enter the channel, or not the channel, but enter the lagoon, not just the narrow strip. Well, to enter and exit. I mean, I say entrance. Obviously, it's also there to help protect bank line on the peninsula and whatnot. So, we've got a definite problem. And it could just be shoring up some language that will allow chiefs guys to better enforce, and that way, there's no little loopholes they can try to pull in front of the judge, or we can just,
So, just a question.
Yeah, fire away.
To kind of prompt. Yeah, just a question of prompt discussion, right? is what is the inherent danger of it, of this happening, right? So that we could, or could not, do something about it.
So,
So, and then I'm just saying from the surface perspective, right? Yeah, people going around, you know, it looks dangerous, got it, no problem. But then we get deeper down into, okay, about behavior and what's enforceable, what's not, you know. So I just want to make sure that we have like a full perspective about, you know, what we can do with people who just do what they do.
I mean, you're always gonna have people who just do what they do,
Right.
and then at some point they'll wind up, you know, having a meeting with one of Chief's guys,
Yeah.
you know, potentially.
Well, I'll check on that. So anybody that causes a wake is still responsible for that wake, whether they're in that peninsula or out of it. Any damage caused by a boater is falls on the operator of the vessel. Yeah. Period. That's just the way it works.
Absolutely.
Now, of course, you know, we have this, what'd you say, that the entrance channel is about, what, 50 feet, 75 feet wide? Something like that,
Maybe, yeah.
give or take?
Yeah.
I'd say probably closer to 50.
Yeah.
You know, and in itself sits, you know, 30 to 40 feet off the peninsula shoreline, most of the way through.
Are you talking about the no wake floating mark?
No, I'm talking about the actual marked, with day boards, you know, the actual pilings.
The hard pole?
Yeah, the actual hard pole pilings as they're coming in or out. And so really what's the difference there versus someone who's gonna run, you know, why is someone gonna adhere to the rules inside the marked channel? But then they're gonna go outside the channel and they're gonna say, well, the entrance channel is the no wake zone. There's not a no wake zone just outside of it. But the intent, of course, is that whole area. You know, because the wake will travel, again, can damage the bank.
And we're talking Cal Bayou from once you come in from, let's say, League City, take a left and come up, right?
No, I'm referring to when you're coming into the cove.
Into the cove.
Into the cove,
yeah.
the north side,
Yeah,
north
yeah,
side of the
okay.
peninsula.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're in an area where if you run 150 feet outside of that channel, you're running the danger of low water running the ground.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah, depending on-
Jet skis don't care.
Yeah, well, jet skis.
That's the type of
Yeah,
feedback
but-
and discussion.
yeah. So we have the grounding risk, we have shoreline damage, erosion risk, as people continue to go through there. So how do we work to help mitigate this? Because people are adhering to for the most part, they're adhering to the no wake within the marked channel. But inside, if they're between sticks, between the pilings, they seem to be adhering to the no wake a lot better. But if they go outside of the, you know, if they're running just to the north of it, and they cut the flats to come in, then they're bypassing all that, and they're not caring. So how do we best address this? Do
I
we
think that's an enforcement issue.
well, it becomes an enforcement issue, but we want to be able to help close a loophole. That way, Chiefs guys can actually
What
do their job.
What loophole is there?
Well, the ordinance reads the channel. It doesn't read.
North of the channel, it doesn't
Around
read
the channel.
the general area. All right. Okay.
So, Ron, are you talking, is here's the channel?
Yes,
Right.
that's the
Are you
channel.
talking about out here?
So
Yeah,
they're
that's
running,
what he's
well, but they're not running that far north. They're running, so in this instance here, so we've got the channel. Okay, so we've got the channel that runs like right here.
Right.
Up here, it's way too shallow right up in here. So what they're doing is in between this little zone right here, this 150, 200 foot range right here.
Yeah.
They're coming in riding full throttle, and then as they make their turn to come into the cove, they slow down. And of course, the intent, I'm pretty sure, was for this to be, you know, basically once you make your turn to come this way in general, not just within a narrow mark channel.
I don't know how we're gonna get them to slow down.
Yeah, I agree. Just my 2 cents again, I already got a lot of 2 cents added up to about 30 cents, right?
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's just, you know, discussion. I can see it being enforcement if you just happen to be out there and, you know, a warning type of thing. Maybe, maybe not. But that's just my perspective, that's the only way. If it looks dangerous, you know, fine. But I think what I believe is one way, at least that I'm thinking about to try to mitigate it, is signage again. I don't know if we just add a sign to what we already have. Well, let me finish on that. So I'm just looking from if I got a flat boat and I'm swinging around, which I don't, I would be thinking about damage to my boat. So if there was words to effect about dredging or no dredging or grounding risk or something, then I think people, you know, pain and suffering moves people. So if there is signage, then I think it would be like a self-enforcement type of sign instead of, you know, slow or no, because if they're gonna go around this channel, they want to go fast already. So a slow or no way movie is almost meaningless for the people that were violated. So that's just my 2 cents.
Why couldn't we just put rules out for this? No way, so.
Well, that's what I'm saying, we could just
Or we can enforce them, because they're not within the ordinance.
So the ordinance itself would have to be amended to say something along the lines of, you know, the entrance channel, the entrance to the lagoon, up to X amount of feet north of the channel.
I think it's a lot of waste of time, quite honestly. I know I'm being
Yeah, no,
quite
no.
honest. Been running out in these waters for 40 years. People have always cut across there. I've sat out there. I've been out there. I've seen them do it. It's not as bad as everybody's trying to make it sound. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah, I think it's more visual, because I've been boating since the 80s. And it's like when you leave chemo, as soon as you get into the open waters, you're laying it down.
Yeah.
You know, we're trying to find things to do here. I mean, you want to put buoys and signs. Where are you going to put them? How much more money are we going to spend on it? They're not going to pay attention to them anyway. You can't enforce it. So
Yeah, and my guys haven't.
we can't sit out there or you can't run across the lake at speed.
Yeah, they've noticed that there are people that they go outside the channel and stuff, you know, over the years. But it's not a huge number of people that's doing it, you know, so.
And I mean, even if you watch the Outlaw Challenge, they turn around as soon as they come out of the cove, they're nailing it. They're taking off. You know,
Chief George will tell you from his guys that are on the boat with my guys, when they go down to that corner of the peninsula, they'll sit there, traffic coming in or going out, they see the patrol boat, and they do what they're supposed to.
Sure.
And when there's not a patrol boat around,
Right.
it's no different than us being on patrol on the streets. You know, when they see us, they stop at the stop signs, they don't speed and stuff. When we're not around, you know, it's
The ones who would do.
yeah.
The ones who
So,
would.
so anyhow, I think it's just something. It's, you know, it goes back to bad voting, just like it goes back to bad driving.
Yeah.
You know, we can't regulate, we can't legislate somebody's behavior. You know,
So just think like that, the people will come off the lake where there's no speed limit, coming into Nassau Bay, and pretend there's no speed limit here too. Yeah, there's no speed limit right for lake.
Yeah.
That's a problem. So,
I think it caused confusion because everyone thinks the lake is, you know, like Texas 99. You're just like, right, yeah, right.
They don't look at it like it's a left turn coming
Right,
into Nassau Bay.
Yeah. I mean, I've watched boats here recently just come, and you can tell as soon as they come in, they come around the channel, they'll throttle down.
yeah,
Come down.
but I think it's working. I think it's
Yeah.
working.
I think my guys have reported, especially the ones that have been out there in the past, and I think Tom's, people could probably, the number of boats out in the cove the number has gone down.
Where's it came from?
And
mayor lives right on Seacoast, but he, watches that really good. He said it's, has improved in the last 3 weeks, he's noticed a big change in everything, so I think whatever the committee's doing is really good.
You're also seeing other agencies out there.
I'm sorry?
You're also seeing.
Yeah,
other
that's what he
agencies.
said, he's been seeing Texas Parks
And
and
that
Wildlife.
scares them off when they see them out there pulling them over. Parks and Wildlife's out there today with 2 boats. So,
Tom sent us a picture about 45 minutes ago. Parks and Wildlife there in the creek. So, I mean, they're coming in. They know that we've requested them. Tom's talked to them. I've talked to them. We've requested the other agencies. Plus, we've got a little house for them, the office for them to come take a break. They're utilizing it. So, with all the extra proactive from the marine operations, I think it's making an impact. Hopefully.
So I was at the dog park the other day and we watched the Texas Parks and Wildlife with their like 32-foot boat, whatever, came in. And they just sat there next to the dog park, waiting for people to come around the corner on that blind band. And unfortunately, they missed the go fast boat, just came through there a few minutes before. So it's all about timing, I guess, right? But they were there. Parks and
out there
Wildlife.
all the time.
Good. Huh?
They're out there all the time. And you see them a lot at around 6 o'clock.
Yep. Good.
And they'll be checking boats.
Yeah. Saw the Coast Guard doing the same thing the other day, and they were hopping from one boat to another. People would saw them, and they'd turn around and head back out to the.
What I'm hearing from the word is, at least my daughter, she's big in both of her friends, is you're young, want to have fun, go to Galveston to the sandbar. You're older, want to chill out. That's the word. That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I'm hearing.
We're
So,
going to Redfish.
yeah,
Yeah,
Redfish Island.
they're going to Redfish
Yeah,
Island.
Redfish Island, yeah.
Being told.
So I think
I agree.
what everybody's doing is great,
Yeah, I don't disagree with Chief George, like, at all. It's one of the reasons I want to make sure we have enough discussion instead of like going into it, like, what do we do about it, right? But I didn't want to be a naysayer at the beginning. Thanks, Chief.
This was an issue that was brought to me by a few citizens, something I've also noticed. Okay, no, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
So let me bring something up that I think is important. So I got my boat a couple weeks ago, just after one of the storms came through. And most of those buoys are now gone around Nassau.
Which ones?
The buoys around Park. They're gone. A lot of them have been moved from heavy water, they're missing.
You're talking about the ones that are up near the 270
The
bridge.
I'm
yeah.
right.
Was that Public Works for that?
Because there's never been, the buoy stopped at the creek right
Yeah.
there. That no wake zone, and then there's a no wake zone over here. There's not a no wake zone all the way through there, so there's never been any buoys.
Not buoys in it, not around the park, the dog park.
From the, what I noticed when I voted is, a lot of the buoys are going from, the peninsula going over to the 270 boat ramp. They're just missing.
Oh, that's not ours.
Yeah, that's the creek,
Yeah.
that section there, and right over there.
Yeah, we've never put buoys back around.
Well, I think that some of those buoys, when I talked to the Coast Guard, what they'll tell me is a lot of times these buoys were put out there by individual property owners. So they don't even know the buoys are out there sometimes. And if you look at the buoys, they're not identified, they're not marked to the city of Nassau Bay. I know that's something we could do, but they're not marked. I mean, that's just what citizens do, they put a buoy out
Oh,
there,
yeah.
they're out all the time.
I think that's what those over on what I call the southeast part of the peninsula, that creek, you've got those 2 marinas that have been there forever, and I think that's where the no wake zone is, so that I'm betting that they're the ones that probably put those up there. And you've had more development a little bit farther up that way, and that's why they've added. Because there used to be just a little slip of no wake, now it's a pretty long distance of no wake on that part of the creek right there.
You talking,
To those
you talking about
individuals.
the east side of the
Yes.
peninsula?
Yes.
So there's one buoy out there that's still twisted around, I think it's in our notes, it's just still twisted around. We've talked about it before. And it's been there for 10 years. There's 2 of them that are twisted.
I think they're the people that put them out.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, I agree. But they're in the city of Nassau Bay.
Yeah, kind of drifted over.
Yeah.
Are they?
Huh?
Are they? Because where is the city of Nassau Bay? If the buoys you're talking about right here. Is this the city of Nassau Bay?
Yes.
No,
Well,
we only have 50 feet off of the.
Yeah, that's what I mean though, but some of those buoys are just.
The buoys you're talking about go right up like
A
this.
little bit further, right in there.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. That's
Starting
not-
right here,
Yeah,
That's not
there's-
us.
come down through here. And these guys, are, I think, are the ones who put it out there. But if this is the Harris County, Galveston County line, if they're not in Harris County, then they're not in Nassau Bay.
Yeah, we only have 50 feet off the shoreline.
Yeah, we have never done anything.
50 feet, yeah.
So what I'm talking about, one of the buoys is sitting right in here, which I think is in Nassau Bay City.
Yeah, but we've never done that one. We've never.
That's
We
gotta
don't,
be.
that's
But
not.
they could have
that's
been there from
not all.
that apartment company, that wharf. I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
I think with the development of all that area, these people that have built in that area are the ones that are sticking those out there.
Yeah, and it used to be the wharf down here was a terrible location. They put them out there all the time too.
Yep, yep, because their piers stick out into the creek.
Right.
And I can understand why they don't want people zooming through there, because tear those boats up. That's probably what, they've always been there, that little sliver.
Yeah.
Then, as this all started to grow, they added a back charter that way.
Sure. In fact, even up through here, up in Cobb Bayou, you can find some of those buoys sitting in people's backyards. They pick them up, put them in their backyard.
And that's all no weight now too.
But I think one of the big problems is all the stuff that happens around the Nassau Bay, or the Rock Park, where the deaths have happened. Boats have ended up in the park, and people are getting killed and injured through there. Doesn't seem to be that way in the cove, but it sure is around that area. And we've had people coming in and giving testimony about that. So, I don't think we're documenting who gives the testimony. I think that's one thing we should be doing.
We have that all the time.
No, it's not. Somebody came in the other day and they had their name as HUS, not HUS. I think we should.
It was Kathy Huff, and we made the correction.
Anyway, it's not on the document.
But anyways, that is not part of this agenda item right now.
Well,
We're straying off of the agenda. So,
but I'm just saying that needs to be done.
and that is done, that is documented. We have formal minutes, and we have electronically recorded, but as I said, that is not part of new business right now, Jim. So let's get back on track so we can wrap this up. So if that's the case, we don't have, there's really no action to take then. So we're good with 7-1. So we get to item 8, adjournment. Motion to adjourn, I need one.
Motion to adjourn.
All right, Jeff. 30 seconds.
Let's
Favor? All right.
All right.
It is 16:33. Your turn.
Splendid.
Very good.
Thank you all.
So the other thing is off the topic, which should be part of the marine safety, is, we're just down in the marina right now. Some of these, bowling are gonna have live wires in the marina. And that's kind of, that's a Nassau safety hazard.
That's the marina, that's private property.
Yeah,
It is.
live wires. You're talking actual